February 1st, the first day after our visit to Milford Sound, presented us with a long day of driving. Our objective was to drive from Te Anau Downs down to Te Anau, and thence up along Lake Wakapitu and inland and northward to the little town of Fairlie, which would serve as our staging area for a visit to Mount Cook. This is a distance of 285 miles, which in New Zealand is a significant distance. Here's the Fiordlands National Park Backpackers Lodge, where we stayed 2 nights on Lake Te Anau. Our room needed more care and maintenance than it got, and it needed more than it had received over time, so it was quite shop worn, and it was much more distressed than these pictures show. And the manager didn't open up the breakfast as advertised at 7:30, so we've had to wait. We had to call him up actually and explain that we wanted our breakfast that we paid for. And apparently now he's busy opening up the breakfast room. Well, here's Joanne still coping. No, I wouldn't. Let's go out the front.
Yeah. So they're not attending, and Kanye was sitting water.
We would be remiss if we didn't show some scenes of the farming we encountered between Te Anau and Lake Wakatipu. Of course, New Zealand is famous for its sheep, and here I ask a local about threshing. This must be beautiful farm country, huh?
Yeah, it's we haven't had very good weather lately.
Beautiful farm country perhaps in the valley here, but elsewhere on the east of the mountains we saw much barren landscape in the semi-arid climate. No one would call these hills on the west shore of Lake Wakatipu verdant. Just before lunchtime we reached the southern end of Lake Wakatipu. Here's Lake Wakapitu, or as I've heard it pronounced, Wakapu. I'm not sure how they say it. Looks like Wakapitu. It's a large lake. We got almost 40 kilometers to go along this arm of it before we get to Queenston. That's Queenston. That's Kingston at the end of this arm of the lake, the southern end. And we're going to have our lunch here. An early lunch, but a lunch. How far do you think we have to go this afternoon?
Well, how far was it now?
Yeah, well, no, I don't know. I just don't know. So, we've got a ways.
Maybe 50 miles. I don't know.
60, 70, more like it, maybe.
Miles?
Actually, it's 207 miles. Here it's north, looking toward Queenstown. It'll take us a long time to get there. Here are a few moments of unedited open microphone recording.
Lake Wakapitu.
Or Wakapu.
Oh, it isn't really.
I'll have to ask them in Queenstown how they say that. We'll get gas or something. These are the Remarkables that border the east side of the south arm of Lake Wakapito or Wakapito or Wakapu or what have you. They're an impressive array. Do you think it is?
I don't know. Could be Lake, if you want to get just the poo sound, Lake Wakatipu, but it's spelled Wakatipu. Wakatipu. Wakatipu.
Wakatipu. By early afternoon, we'd reached Frankton, a suburb of Queenstown, gassed up, and headed east toward our destination. Following a gorge upstream, we came upon this famous bungee jumping venue. Kevin should recognize this. We're a little ways out of Queenstown, and here's the bungee jumping venue. Here the concessionaire staff is readying a jumper to jump. I did not record this jump because my camera malfunctioned, but on a return visit a few days later I did record a jump, and here it is. During the afternoon, we continued our drive north and east toward Fairlie, following routes 6 and 8, and crossed a pass called Lindis Pass. There's nothing particularly remarkable about Lindis Pass, but we have some footage that we recorded on the way over, and we'll just watch it for the fun of it. It looks like the Wild West here in the United States. It's really quite surprising. It's very arid. Now we're headed for a pass called Lindis Pass. So we may have some dramatic scenery in here. We'll keep the camera at the ready to see.
Slowly on this grass.
That's what they say. Joanne will see that I do.
Oh, yes.
Common sense and prudence will also have a hand. But a wall of mountains on all sides. Canyon for sure. I don't know what we'll see around this corner. More mountain, no doubt. This is the pass. Oh, there's the lookout. We got so far to go, we can't stop and take pictures. We'll just keep rolling. Around the corner here, there we are, and that's the downward side of the pass. By late afternoon, we'd come 3/4 of the way to our destination and happened upon a tiny lake, no more than a fish pond, so colored by glacial flour, I thought the hatchery had added some kind of nutrient to the water. Look at the color of that water. It's a salmon farm. I really don't want to try to pronounce the name of this reservoir. I'll let viewers do the best they can for themselves. Very soon we were to learn that glacier flour had tinted all the lakes in this region this otherworldly cyan color. This could be what we're looking for. It's pretty impressive, whatever it is.
I think that's Mount Cook. Mount Cook. That's what it says with the big sign.
Do you have that on wide angle?
I do.
No, you want it. That'll make it a whole lot less impressive.
Okay, I'll bring it
Like
in.
a little 11.5 distance.
Here is Mount Cook.
Well, we're making the big assumption. It looks right.
The sign said so.
How do you know that's Mount Cook?
Because I've been following the signs and I've got a map in front of me. That is Mount Cook.
Oh, come on. You got to have more documentation than
That's
that.
it. That's it.
Is it?
And this water is this color because of the glaciers on Mount Cook.
That's what that man said out there.
I heard it, but we also know that from Glacier Park.
Yes, I should know.
It's
but
that glacial flower
that really
blue.
is a weird color.
Glacial flower blue. But Mount Cook.
Here we're on the last leg of our journey, driving along Lake Pukaki. And there remained for us this day only to drive on to Tekapo and pick up some provisions for dinner, and then push on to the unremarkable village of Fairlie. And by the time we got to Tekapo and Fairlie, we were too distracted to do any video recording, so I caged another picture from Google Street View, making what some might consider a cogent argument for touring the world on Google Maps and saving their money on travel expenses. Actually, I don't subscribe to that argument.